Hey everybody, I am back. And I think I figured out the audio. Sorry about the last stream where I was listening to music again. No one else was. That's okay. It's just a really quiet stream. This one should be a little bit better. But yeah, I've got this and I might work on it. It definitely needs work. There's like still that pixel like somewhere over here. So yeah, there it is. That blue pixel. The clouds are very static still. As you can see, I've done quite a bit with the lava. There's lava over here, lava over there, lava over here. There's lots of lava now. Um, but it kind of cuts off, so it's like it still needs those 20 frames, which, and man, there's a lot going on at the end. So those 20 frames are gonna have layers and layers of animation. It's going to be a difficult 20 frames, so I guess that's why I'm kind of holding off on it. But I did make a GIF of this because it's kind of like an in-between stage. Once I start on those next 20 frames, it's going to be a while before I get them finished. So there might not be, you know, it might take some time. So I might not get a GIF out of it right away, is what I'm saying. So anyways, I think I'm going to start a new scene in the same intro. It's a pretty big intro. There's a lot of scenes to it. So um, I've actually got that. I don't know if the headphones will reach. I dropped something. Sorry. Yeah. So I've got this sheet. Um, you probably can't really see it, but maybe if I make everything a little bit bigger here. Um, yes, in front of my face, just like that. Um, so this first drawing, sorry, it's backwards. This first drawing is a little bit strange, but we're actually what? Oh, I'm still on the wrong side. This drawing and this next drawing next to it, those are the two that I've just done. I'm actually thinking about. Oh, excuse me, I bumped the mic. I'm actually thinking about doing this drawing here. If I'm not on camera, or that drawing. That one in the middle. This one. That's really hard to do. So yeah, and that's actually going to be just a few frames of animation. It's mostly just space, and I know I'm going to draw some stars in the background, but I'm pretty good at drawing stars now. I've drawn a lot of stars, just like I've drawn a lot of clouds, and I've drawn a lot of lava now. I'm getting good at these things that I'm animating. So yeah, so I'm going to do the same size, but when I say smaller, there's going to be just a lot less going on. It's a much smaller scope piece. So this one is all saved and stuff, so I don't need to worry about that. But I'm just going to leave it open. Since it is saved, it doesn't matter that it's all saved. Not in the RAM. So I want to make a brand new one, and that's pretty big. I want it to be the size of the other one. I'm pretty sure if I do Control A and then do file name. No. Well, let me just check the sizes. I'm pretty sure that it's 124, 512. Yeah. So, but I thought maybe there was an easier way. I know in Photoshop, it knows your clipboard size. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't hit Control C. Hold on, let me try that. I want to learn. Control C. File new. No, didn't do it. All right, so 1024 tab 512. That's the size I want. New. I feel like I'm gonna keep bumping the mic. It's right there. Yeah. Out. Here we are. That's everything. So what I'm gonna start with. Oh, I'm gonna throw on some music so this doesn't get too quiet. Sorry. Okay. So, what I'm going to start with, got our blank canvas here, making a new, or I've got my first layer, I'm just giving it a name here. I'm going to call it just BG for background, but BG, not GB. So BG, and I'm just going to make it 100% black. I don't know what's going on here. Huh. Doesn't seem to want to work for some reason. So I am going to close this one out. Maybe it's causing a glitch. Not sure. The alpha. I don't know why the alpha was all the way turned off. That's weird. Yeah, I can't think of why that would be. So strange to me. But anyways, I've got my black BG layer, so I'm just gonna make a new layer. What the heck are we listening to? Some of this music isn't the greatest, so I'm just skipping through it. All right, so I want stars. I was just deciding whether I like the song or not. I think I like it. So most stars are like yellowish, but they're bright, so they're mostly white. Because when we think of light, we think of white light. But the reality is that most stars are just a little bit yellow. But who am I to say? So at this size, this might actually be the smallest I want to go for a star. Any smaller than that might be too small. So I guess I'm just going to call this layer stars. Yeah, and I'm just going to marquee selection, the star that I made. I'm going to hit the V tool. No, I'm going to keep the M tool. And then I'm going to hold control. And this puts them on the same layer, which is nice because then I don't end up with like a whole bunch of different layers. If I were to copy and paste it, that's how you get a whole bunch of different layers, which is also useful. But in this scenario, I just want all these stars on one. So that way, if I want to change the color of them all, I can just select them all and do that. And if I want more stars, I can make another layer. That way I can make that layer different colors. I'm not filling this layer in too much. I'm leaving it kind of sporadic. Yeah, and I'm gonna move some around now because I want them to be. There's a composition to this piece that hasn't really come into play yet, but I can see it in my mind, kind of thing. But I'm also using that piece of paper, so I'm gonna refer to that here in a second. But I think this is a good starting point. I don't want it to look too regular, but also I want it to look good compositionally. You know what I mean? Like if you have all the stars on, like you kind of have to look at it like a grid, right? You've got your y coordinates and your x coordinates, right? And if they're on the same line mostly, then that kind of looks like it's not supposed to, right? Because in life it would never occur that way. I mean, it could, but it never would, right? Kind of thing, right? So it kind of couldn't, right? It's a weird paradox. But in this, oh, sorry. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Hmm. Fluid break. Sorry. Gotta stay hydrated, caffeinated. So we've got our stars. I want to look at that reference drawing. So basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw big stars and have them shoot like electric or not electricity, but like plasma or something, a laser basically, plasma laser. So there's a certain shape here that I'm gonna follow. Um, I'm gonna never remember if it's Alt Shift N. Make a new layer. I'm just gonna call this one. I'm gonna call it plants because that's what they are. They're power plants. It's just the first thing that came to my head. Uh, so I want the brush tool, and I want it pretty big for this first one. I'm gonna kind of make the shape kind of like a little bit similar to like a Steam logo type thing here. Just that's kind of the shape that composition came out in. Um, More of a constellation than anything, right? I'm gonna have to get in close for these. I want to make sure that yeah, because I'm just drawing regular stars here. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more creative, I think. I guess I could do this one and then, but I want to make sure it looks good with the rest because they have to be like a good placement away. What's the angle like? Oh, it kind of curves back on the drawing. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, so now this one is going to be inward even more, even further away. Kind of just look like a star there, but that's okay. Because it leads your brain to think, well, like, what's a star? What's a power plant? You know, or are this power plants stars? Because that's kind of the idea is that this alien race or whatever is these aliens are turning planets into power plants and essentially very small stars that are directing energy towards one source. And it's very fictional. You know, there's some thought put into it, but there's every nook and cranny hasn't been filled out because it's kind of it's a little ridiculous. So let's just leave it at the fact that it's a little ridiculous. All right, so we've got our plans, and now we want I don't know what this layer is going to be at. Kind of like just like the effect, I guess. Just call it effect one because who knows what it's really going to be. I'm not really sure yet. So got my brush pretty big. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of too big, I think, because it's like the size of the stars. So first of all, I want to know the direction that it's going to be shooting. So it's going to be shooting this to this one. So I'm going to make like a little dot there. Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna erase it in a second, but I just want to make sure that I know that that's like the charge point, right? That's where everything's coming from. Yeah, so I'm just gonna jump right into the animation here, and I'm actually going to. Oh, can I? If I turn on onion skin, see it? Oh, I wonder if I I don't, I'm not a huge fan of how they do onion skin in this, honestly. I'm just gonna avoid it because I don't want to like spend time trying to figure it out. Maybe I'll feel better about it once I do spend time to figure it out. Still want to do that right now. I feel like it's easier if you don't have a background, but then it's like really hard to see certain colors if you don't have a background. So kind of pointless then. You can't use it otherwise, right? Um, so I want to make everything change every layer, which is why onion skin would be helpful here, but it's can't see it because there's a background layer. So, like if I turn the background layer off, you can see the onion skin, right? But it's above it, so why wouldn't I be able to see it? But whatever. Like if I change the background color, that's the only way to really do it. Maybe I should just do that. It only takes a second, but I gotta remember where it's all at. Preferences, got our background. Okay, so yeah, these should all be more purple. Kind of harsh on the eyes, but it's easier to see. I don't know. Maybe I'll try another one. Do like the green. Nah, the green is too hard to see. Right, let's try that. I like the purple better. Let's stick with like that, I guess. All right, so now I can see where the last layer was, so that's gonna help. What's this? I like this. Oh, more chipsel. I'm gonna hit like on this one. All right, so Alt N. Yes, I figured it out. All right, so now I can just erase away. I should be changing those inside peeps. Kind of want it to be doing it pretty fast as it gets around. Kind of expand as well. There we go. I don't know why I was using such a small eraser. Yeah, this song is not my favorite. But the name of the album is pretty good. 13 is my favorite prime. Weird, that's a weird number. Or weird thing to say about a number. Also a weird number to choose. A lot of people don't like 13. But yeah, I'm gonna skip this. I'm ready to skip this one as well. There was one track that this person had that was okay. All right, yeah. So I don't think I really need this anymore. I think I've got that under control. Sure, will be nice to see this on a black background. Yeah. So other than that first frame, oops. I guess I could have it like coming out of the thing too, because it can like touch it. It gives me more space to work with, like that. It has to be on like a corner. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I feel like this area is kind of empty. I don't know. I'll deal with that later. I think I'm gonna, because that's where the shot's gonna come out of. I think I'm gonna make the energy build up first, and then yeah. All right. So Alt N. I'm going to erase everything. Get out my brush again. Take away the background layer so we can see the grid. I mean the onion skin. Uh, yeah, so I guess Aseprite expects you to change the background depending on your piece. Although honestly, something magenta would be like a better um like default. But it's ugly as hell. So yeah, I could see why they wouldn't have chose that. They open it up like, what are you doing to us, man? Sometimes I like to desaturate it, but again, if you're working with desaturated colors at all, like white, that gets really difficult. So for onion skinning, because it puts this, and you can change the opacity of the onion skin and stuff like that, but that's like more stuff you got to go through per piece, right? The more you can set it up to be default, meaning like works for all your pieces or most your pieces across the board, you know. I don't know. Photoshop, you still gotta do that stuff too, where you gotta set up your settings for the piece, especially for pixel art pieces, right? I remember I was doing a game jam at a college, and they didn't have Aseprite. I was like, oh my gosh, how do you not have Aseprite? And I didn't have a laptop, and the computers were locked in a way that you couldn't download stuff. you know, because it was a college. And like I guess I could have gotten like, you know, I wasn't a student either, so that made it like it was okay that I was there, but me asking like, hey, could I download something on the computer? Like that would have been kind of weird, right? But I guess I could have gotten someone to maybe help, but it would have taken time and effort, and it was only a 42-hour game jam, so I ended up just jumping into Photoshop, which you know I'm decent with Photoshop. I actually really good with Photoshop. I used it in college, so I mean things have changed a bit, but how much could it really have changed? You know, I mean honestly, like I don't know how to do the 3D stuff in there. I've used very little of the timeline in terms of movies and stuff like that in Photoshop. I mostly use it for, you know, what it was first made for, which was graphics and stuff like that. But yeah, trying to make animated GIFs in Photoshop is like making a sprite sheet is like it's just it's fucking difficult, man. I've done it before, and it's pain in the ass. This is just so much easier, and it's only fucking $15. So yeah, because essentially these cells are your sprite sheet. It will generate a sprite sheet. That's what's great about this software. It can also take your crappy Photoshop sprite sheets that you spent hours making and import them, so you can fix them and make adjustments on them without having to move around this big massive picture to make adjustments. And then you can just hit play and look at the animation. You don't have to. I don't even remember how I was doing it. It was very difficult to test the animation. So anyone who wants to learn pixel art animation, I need to go further on that. This is the software that I recommend. There's a couple other ones out there, but if you're on the fence, like oh, Photoshop should be good. No, I mean don't get me wrong, Photoshop helps. There's a lot of cool features that Photoshop has that you can use, um, but this has a lot for a pixel art program, especially for being $15. It's like wow. It's too far, wasn't it? Another thing that's cool is that in Unity, you can actually change the animation speed like really easy. So you can make minor adjustments that people won't really pick up on. So if one part of the scene is in 24 frames a second and another part of the scene is in 30 frames a second, no one's going to notice, right? So if I make more than enough frames and the animation looks kind of slow, I can speed it up like really easy, and no one's gonna care because people's eyes are so attuned to 60 or 90 on VR, you know that type of stuff, and 30 is like okay, like for most people. I mean, yeah, some people will be like ew 30, and they can pick up on it and be like they have a negative feeling towards it, but whatever. Oh hey Amara, I didn't see you there. Thanks for joining the chat. I just saw you. Hopefully you haven't been sitting there long. But yeah, I'm working on this new animation. I didn't finish the old one, but I wanted to work on something fresh, something that I could finish in one session, rather than to spend a whole bunch of time on the big, huge, massive scene. But I did add a bunch of lava and stuff. I can actually load it up and show you, since you were around to see how it was going. I think last night I put a whole bunch of lava in. Start it over. Bam. Someone on Twitter offered to make sound effects for this, which I thought was interesting. I told him go ahead, but you know, who knows if it would actually get used in the game. So yeah, this is not done. I want some more frames at the end, and I need to clean up some, like there's this blue pixel over here, and there's a few things, like there's another blue pixel over here. The just a little cleanup that needs to happen on this guy, and then it should be good, you know. But um, there's gonna be another scene between the one that I'm working on. But I've got them all planned out on these crude drawings. That's kind of how I thumbnail though. I make really crude drawings and then I make, you know, artwork out of them. So all right, Alt N for a new frame. Just gonna erase it all and start drawing again. But that's too close. Better. So I'm expanding a little bit, but not too much. Mostly I'm just still going around this. Oh, that's too far. This power plant thing. It's a very zoomed out view of the last scene that we're looking at a more advanced state. So after that power plant spent more time on the planet, it's gonna end up looking like this at a distance. I think I'm gonna go back and do the inside after I get all the way around the star. I think it'll just be faster that way. Alright, Alt N, eraser, brush, and background. Oh, that looks like a kind of looks like a lung. This one's got to the point where it needs more, I think. Just start thinking about what it's really going to be doing here. Growing hair, that's what it's doing. Alright, so now it's pretty much there. So this frame, it's got to actually be there. Hit dog bark. Can't believe I already spent 30 minutes on this. Oh. Yeah, so it's a little long. It's a little slow. But it's real far away, so I think it'll have a good effect. I don't think it's too slow. But I do think it's time to start shooting. I gotta think about what that's gonna look like. Actually, I think it should collapse on itself before it shoots. Now that I'm picturing it in my head. So I think I'm actually gonna like close that off on the animations. Like that. I fixed it though. So I'm gonna go back and do that. Using the arrow keys here. Alright, so yeah. You can see I put a hole in it. So now I'm just gonna draw on that. There's gonna be like a little build up. Oh, the wrong way. Oh my, what happened? Yeah. This is hardly pixel or pixel art. This is hardly chiptune. It's like I don't even know. Electro swing. Electro swing's pretty good, but some of it's just not. I don't know. One of those things. The genre that's really easy to screw up, I feel like. I think some of the people that get into those types of genres don't really care if it's good or not. They just like the novelty of it. Even though there is some really good stuff, the listeners don't always care that much. I feel like, I don't know. It's hard to generalize people like that. I guess it's just bad to generalize people like that. All right, so 15 frames in, getting pretty collapsy. See what 16 is gonna bring us. I think it should actually hit the surface now and just. I think I should actually shrink the sphere next frame. Reminds me of the Smashing Pumpkins. That looks pretty good. All right, so this one is going to expand again. So I'm just going to take this one, move it over. All right, so back to the top layer. I'm going to erase all of this. And actually, I want it to be just a little bit bigger than it was before. So I'm just going to, oh, there. God darn it. Here we go. Oh, that didn't do it. There we go. No, that still didn't do it. I don't have everything selected. Oh, so I don't know. But do that. Come on, what is this? All of a sudden it's giving me a hard time. That'll do. Oh, it looks oddly misshapen, doesn't it? Is it always like that? How is that possible? The brush. Oh, maybe it got smeared. Alright, oddly misshapen it is. Whatever. Oh, I don't know. Why would it do that? I don't understand. I'm like clicking right on the box. I think that looks better. Sorry to be finicky with that. But yeah, I think it's for the better. Oh yeah, I wanted that direction that way. Yeah, I'm doing this. All right, here we go. Looks kind of bad. I'm gonna try to fix that. All right, yeah, I think this is what we're going for. It's hard to say right now because it's at like a strange, um, like a stretching point. That being said, we want to go back to a more normal size here. Now this thing is actually going to reach the other side. So I think I need to fix this frame a little bit. It looks like it's aiming off in some random direction. That looks better. Yeah. Yeah, I like this. I've got an idea. This next frame, I'm going to invert this pyramid. That's actually, or this triangle. That's actually what it is. It's a triangle, right? Um, I'm just going to find like a whole outside shape. Bring it into this point. Oh, you know what I need to do? Erase everything. Got carried away. Alright, starting over. Here we go. Like super light speed energy transfer, right? Why is it dodging your pick the pixel? What's going on here? It was dodging it. That was weird. Alright. Yeah, I think that'll work. You'll have another frame of it, like tailing off. But I'm going to zoom in and finish this like aura of electricity. Whatever it is. Viking guitar, that's not really what I'm trying to listen to. So yeah, I'm gonna find a halfway point or something like it. I do. Do just a little bit less than halfway. But I need it to be in the middle. Pretty close. That'll do. Because it just didn't look like it, does it? hard to get these angles exact when you've got different like step counts on either side of the angle, right? Zooming out. Okay. And this frame also, this plant should be a little bit bigger than usual. Over here. A little worried about the way this is going to look when it's done with the black background, but it's okay. I'll go back and fix it if I need to. That's the only plant close enough to see that type of activity. I want it to be pretty fast. I don't like the way that ended up. Oh, guess I just have to fix it that way. Alright, that works. So that this one's going to be shooting to that one. So it's going to stay the same size. I'm going to get on this layer. I'm going to shrink this down to like that big. Just leaving like a hint of the direction that it came from. But then from the other side, I'm going to have it instantly, because it already grew in size, so the corona is active over there. And this one is going to shoot here. Oops, I didn't tap off the back end. Alright, so that works. Just checking how everything looks over there. Getting kind of dark in the room here, but it looks fine on camera. Good old natural lighting. Alright, so I should go back and fix this guy. I feel like he should be getting smaller or something. No, that's the original size. Alright, so back to this top layer. It's gonna draw lines now, I guess. No. Alright, so on this frame, well, we gotta erase this guy again. You know, while I'm over there, might as well just make it real quick. Alright. So on this frame, like I was saying, I'm going to cut away this part entirely. And then this is going to grow to the other side. Again, I feel like I need to fix this now. Oops. Alright, that's a start. Yes. So let's take a look and see how this actually looks. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. This is looking good. I'll zoom in a little bit here. So yeah, it's gonna follow, and yeah. I'm happy with it. Okay, so next, just gonna stop it on the last frame. I'm just gonna add a new frame here. Alt N. And I'm just gonna erase everything that was there. If I turn off the background layer, you can see the onion skin. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go in there and put that in again. Since it's the closest object, it should be animated every frame, at least just a few pixels, right? Song's kind of cheesy, huh? Not a fan of this guy or this person. Portobello head. Give this a shot. All right, that's done. So yeah, this one's actually going to shift sides. It's kind of cool, I think. All right, so I'm just gonna find the edge here. Oh, you know, I want it to be bigger. Stopped myself there. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna use the wand tool actually. More precise. That should be good. Going to fill out those edges there. Just using a larger brush here. There we go. Bring it back down. Oh, hey, Easy Perp, what's going on? Thanks for lurking, I appreciate it. Uh, yeah, same old, man. Same old. I'm having a good time pixeling. Just making this really cool animation, you know. Um, got the streaming avatars. I don't know if you noticed, but looks like you've got what? How do you pronounce that? Aerith? Aerith? I can't remember her name. There's a way to change it though. I don't know how much you've played with the streaming avatars though. There's an extension in the like about me section of my Twitch page, and yeah, did it work? Did you jump? Are you gonna jump? I haven't had anyone really to test it with. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can change your character in the extension. You can use the controls in the extension, which is cool. You can tell it to move directions and stuff. I thought the extension was pretty cool. Yeah, I downloaded you know quite a few, but mostly just from like games that I like. So I don't know, but you can change it up if you want. I think, anyways. Or I know there's a way I can gift you whatever you want, basically, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you've played with it at all. I was having a lot of fun with it. It's definitely worth the $15. Like it seemed a little steep at first, but like it's just like a little app. But I've actually gotten a lot of enjoyment out of it. I'm surprised. Also, if no one's around, I can just kind of like pretend like there's someone around. I can drop like a little cat and she's a beast. Yeah, yeah, that's cool that you like the one that I gave you randomly. But yeah, they're like the little box people are cool because they've got like different items you can put in their hands and stuff, different faces you can give them and stuff, different colors. But the video game characters are way cooler. I'd love to make my own, but honestly, I just spending more time on the actual game right now. Like for the next game though, yeah, because the next game I'm working on, if everything stays the same direction, it's gonna be like a JRPG. So like the icons or whatever will work perfectly, or the icons, the characters, and the enemies, all that stuff will work perfectly for this without any like real work put into it. So um, I could even start using them now, but I don't want to give away too much on that game when I'm really working on Retro Spaceball. That's my main thing here. So. All right, so this next frame, um, this is gonna shrink down. So I'm just gonna erase everything here. Oh, what am I on? I'm on the wrong layer here. Oh, I drew that on the wrong layer. That's bad. Okay, it's fixable. I'm just gonna put it on this top layer for now. And what am I gonna? Oh, I see why that is. It's because I expanded the planet on that layer. All right. Well, guess I'll just on both layers. I guess I just gotta erase both layers. I'm gonna erase all of that. Kind of reshape the planet. Alright, that should be doable. Let me get back on this layer. I'm gonna put this, what about here or so? Don't want it to move so fast that you can't pay attention to it. I missed a spot, huh? Oh no, I've got the contiguous. No, why is it filling everything? There we go. Alright, I think that's what I want. Yeah. Oops, what did I do? Yeah. It's a little annoying to go back to this guy every frame, but I think having it hand animated for every single frame of this animation will kind of make the whole thing work in the end, you know? Because if this just stopped and turned into a sphere, it would kind of make the whole thing a little dead. Also, there's so much weight on this side, um, which is what I was going for. Don't get me wrong. I wanted all the weight to be the one side to make it look like there's direction and flow, and to get your eye to really move towards one side. Obviously, this is going to be a quick portion of the animation, um, but yeah, it's what is it? It's the last one before the first level starts. So like, or I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. It might go to the space station. Um, yeah, haven't really decided exactly. But that's good for that. So now same thing here. It's going to be like just barely there on that side, but already starting to build on the other side. So I'm just gonna make a line so I know the direction. So I better fix the rest of the planet for a while. Oh, this one's barely gonna be there. Ah, I missed. That's is not what I chose. Oh, maybe I didn't hit Control C. I always forget that. What is that? All right. I need to fix this planet. It's like melted. Oh, where's my brush? The heck? What's happened here? Why won't it switch tools? Okay, well, it's a good time to save whenever things start working funny. Or before that is a better time. I'm gonna call this one uh power transfer scene. Power transfer scene. All right, yeah. So power transfer scene saved. That's good. Maybe it'll let me use my brush now. Okay, so now that it's saved, I'm going to exit. Um, See if I can draw now. Oh, yep, there's my brush. I don't know what happened there. Times just disappeared. Yep, too far. All right, so there's my planet. Uh, correct, minus, whatever. Yeah, so gonna reach all the way to the planet this time. feel like every time I do this, I kind of mess up the angle on that first one. I don't know how I got it so wrong the first time. It looks better. Alright, go back to this one. Can't forget about this guy. Yeah, I feel like this is for like an RPG that I wouldn't play. This, on the other hand, sounds like something I would play. Aish. There we go. Close. Alright, there we go. Getting closer. Did did I delete everything on that layer? Is not what I wanted. Actually, I should grab it from a layer or a frame much earlier. So I can ensure they're all the smallest size. Weird. Otherwise, I'd have no future target. Alright. Alt N. Ugly looking plant. Or plants. Alright. This is going to be that. That. Yeah, and then where's the next target? There. So I'm gonna draw a line. See if I can't screw this up. Oops. There we go. Alright, new frame. Here we are. Heading towards the target. Going to go all the way there this time. Actually, that looks bad, doesn't it? It's supposed to come from the edges. This one to the middle of that one. There we go. I don't know what I was doing there. I was like, that looks rather thin. It's that side. Fix the planet. Yeah. All right, frame 31. Oops. All right, time to take a look at it, I think. It's actually going to have one more, but at this point you can see what the full animation's kind of look like. It doesn't really need that one more, but it's going to look better with that last one. I think it will fade. Or maybe I'll have it start with the fizzle. Yeah, I think it'll start with the fizzle. I'll probably actually put a layer in front that doesn't have that build up animation. Pew, 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 pew. Alright, still needs another frame for that power transfer there. Go back to the purple world, the purple galaxy, the magenta checkered galaxy. Yeah, just gonna erase that, bring it in a bit. Oops. Alright, and that last one is that one. Okay. I know I haven't worked on that star in the front, the foreground star, but I'll get back to it. I'm not gonna forget about it. Alright. So this one still needs a little chunk at the end. And then it's already gonna start reaching for the I don't like that though. There we go. Oops. There we go. Yeah, so I'm thinking about ways to end this, and I think it's just going to stream off into a random direction and you won't be able to see the star. And it'll be a very tiny stream compared to the rest of them. Right, like that tiny. There we go. Yeah, so I need to go back and fix those frames. I'm just gonna erase, 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 erase. Anything that looks the same, I'm just erasing here. And how many frames did I add there that look the same? Didn't seem like I added that many. But apparently I did. Oh wait, that one was okay. Oh, that looked bad. So yeah, I was thinking about my technique here, and the technique is quickly without making it look bad. And when it makes it look bad, do it over again. And it's not as quick. So make it look good the first time. That's my technique here. No, trying to do more angles than straight lines. Um, and then just kind of following the angle of the sphere so it doesn't look like a straight line. And then sometimes they do look like straight lines, and that's okay as long as there's not two of them connected. That's when things look really bad. I'm kind of pulsating the star a little bit, so if one frame is short, the next frame is a little bit bigger, or like 2 frames, 3 frames, that type of thing. Oh, that doesn't look good. Alright, so yeah, like I said, I was gonna duplicate a frame here, and then kind of fix it so it just looks like a normal electric shock. Because that's so normal. Electric sun, or whatever's going on here. Plasma, radiation, who knows? I'm just kind of going back here and adding to these initial frames now that I have a better idea of what this particular celestial body is doing. And it's fizzling on every frame. That's what it's doing. So I'm drawing fizzle on all 45 frames. Which is actually kind of relaxing. Just hope I don't screw it up and have to do it over again. Ah! I'll be alright. Be nice to not look at this magenta screen, but it's helping me make the animations. Yeah, I think it's actually. Oh, no, there's still some frames where it's missing. I kind of want it to have its like circular shape kind of coming back at this point, because when it shrinks completely, I would like for it to have that spherical shape still. That kind of adds to the animation, because you see it changing shape, and that registers in your brain, and you're like, hey, something changed. Um, yeah, so this is that frame. I'm just gonna erase that. And then it'll be back on this frame. Or you know what? I'll keep it gone for 2 frames. And the next one it'll be back. Alright. Time to take a look. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, that's dope. I like this. I feel like there should be some twinkle stars. Really the only thing it needs. Like some that fade in, fade out, or fade in color at least. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into the stars layer, and I think maybe this one should twinkle. So I'm just going to have it kind of fade out. Whoa, whoa, aren't I on the stars layer? No. Is that even darker? It doesn't look darker. What's going on here? Also, I want it to be blue, because stars are blue. Not that blue. Alright, so I've saved all those colors to the palette. Just gonna zoom out real quick to make sure that it looks okay. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so we can see it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So yeah, I'll just do that one more time. Somewhere over here, maybe. And the trick is to make them look the same. That way, the person who sees them, I don't know, it registers, but it doesn't like stop them from thinking about other stuff. I don't know, it's a weird thing to describe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I think. Unless it was 5. I really hope it wasn't 5. I'm gonna double check though. Am I on a different star now? I am, aren't I? One, two, three, 4, 5. Yeah, so 4 frames of it like that. And then I'm gonna start going back up. What is that? Wrong layer. Well, let's see how that looks. I feel like all the stars needed. So what I'm actually going to do is just that. Um, yeah. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep going the way that I've been going. And I don't know. Let me look at this. All right. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to select everything. And then marquee is this guy. Control Shift I. Oh, that's not it. What? Ports. Right? Uh, what's invert then? Control Shift I. I thought that's what I hit. Okay. Huh. That's weird. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. No, I think I'm gonna take a break actually, and kind of sit and watch it for a bit, and see if I have a better idea of direction. So I did put together like a little video of all the streams I'd done like last year, and they're just kind of time lapse together with some narration. So I'll throw that on, and I'm just gonna like eat a mango, I think, and just kind of think about this animation for like 10 minutes. So I'll be right back. 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Alright. Hi, my name's Rick Oakland. I'm the developer of Retro Spaceball. I've been making devlogs for just over 2 years, on and off, accumulating
I'll be
to
right
about
back.
160 hours, just over 160 hours of devlogs, using Unity and various other software. So I decided to make time-lapse footage of it, and I've been condensing it down to different lengths and finding that when it's really, really short, it's actually enough to make you sick. So if at any point you feel like you're getting sick, definitely just look away and focus on something else. But this is about 11 minutes, so 160 hours about condensed down to 11 minutes. So this shouldn't be too bad. So this first part, I'm actually working in Piskel, which is free software. And I was using it just because it was free, and I did not want to pay money for Aseprite yet, and I wanted to do more research before I purchased Aseprite. I did find, however, that Aseprite was the correct tool for the job. I was just reluctant to spend the money, and that's fine. Everything ported over great. I liked using Piskel because it was free, but it definitely had limitations. And then it worked great with Unity, so for the price it was pretty awesome. Here I'm just writing the script for the enemy that I made and setting up the animator. And then I'm in LMMS, which is free software here. You can see I'm using a lot of the free VST plugins and then also some VST plugins that I've found over the years. It is 32-bit instead of 64-bit. Let's see here. Yeah, so I'm making a level menu finally. I had a couple levels in the game that you could play, and I wanted to access a menu to get to more levels of it because I had started making more levels here. And I wanted to put it on a phone, so I started doing the Android SDK stuff there. And here I built it to a WebGL and testing the level menu that I made. Looks like I finished it, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I'm back to making music here. You can see all the different plugins and some patterns that I've made, and that was BFXR, which is a great sound effects plugin. And it's actually built into LMMS, and I think I was showing that off there. Yeah, so I'm making the pattern here for the background music for Retro Spaceball. Yeah. I didn't have any of my overlay or I didn't have a webcam yet. I don't think I even had, I think I had a terrible microphone. I think that was the case. Yeah, so it looks like I'm just testing the game, starting a new stream, and then going back to making music. It looks like I built another WebGL version. I was making music while it was building. But I'm still back to making that audio track. It took a long time actually to make it. And then here I'm making the spaceships. Now I actually never put these spaceships into the game. I still have them, and I just have not done anything with them. I plan to still use them and even make more. I just have not gotten to that part of the game yet. Let's see here. So here I'm building a tutorial level that I will actually eventually end up ditching. Building a tutorial was actually a very difficult part of this process for me. The game itself is mixing two genres, which is not something that's easy to do if it's never been done before, and I still haven't found anything quite like what I'm making yet, which makes testing very difficult, but it's also unique that way. It kind of has its own surprises, and it's interesting to develop this game. So I ended up scrapping that whole level, but using a lot of the mechanics that I had made for it. And I think I scrapped that art too. I don't know. I think that was going to be like a bullet. And maybe I'll use it. I don't have a purpose for it. I think I was just like, I'll make a bullet. Yeah, so here I'm back in LMMS, but it looks like I was just fixing something, so I'm back and just making yes, this is hard to narrate. So I'm making a game here, and I'm testing, and it looks like I'm starting a new stream here. I'll probably cut these out. So I test other people's games too, and I'm testing my old games in front of people to show some of the old stuff that I've been doing. Yeah, and I went through my portfolio very quickly there. And I'm back to testing, and it looks like I finished that tutorial level, and I'm beating it very quickly, or at least it appears that way, but it still took like about a minute or two to beat. And here I'm testing it again, and I'm making these level warp pipes that are going to move the ball around. And this tutorial had like way too much going on with it. I was building all these mechanics for it to try to keep the game interesting and explain the game to the player, but not make it boring, and show how it could be, you know, like, oh, this could be cool down the road. It looks like I'm doing something on Facebook and playing someone else's game here. But that tutorial just ended up, because it was horizontal and the whole game was vertical, it kind of took away from the whole core gameplay, which the idea is to get the ball to the top. Like, I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to like push it to the side. I guess to me it kind of opened up the ideas and stuff, like got the creative juices flowing about what you could do with this ball. Oh, and here I'm working on a boss. It looks like I made that level very quickly, but it actually took some time. And then I'm building the boss, which actually took even more time. And at one point you see me whiteboarding it and going over the details with someone, and here I'm making the art for the destruction of the weak points for the boss in Piskel again. Towards the end of this video I'll have switched to Aseprite, but oh, and here I actually never have implemented those blinky arrows or that caution arrow. I don't think I liked the way the caution arrow looked when it was done. And that level there I actually completely scrapped eventually. I just couldn't get it to be fun, and it was just too wide open, and it was an experiment to begin with anyways. But yeah, some experiments are meant to be scrapped. Yeah, so here I'm still working on that boss. I've got the animator set up. Yeah, here I'm working on the mute button. I'm showing off some of my stuff again. Looking at Marble Works, talking about old projects. Let's see here. Back to music, just looking at other people's projects, my own projects, my own projects, other people's projects, my projects, Earthbound, I don't know, my own projects. I'm going through everything here. My portfolio, back to the game. Yeah. So here's my itch analytics from that day. Here I am playing someone else's game here. It was like a Worms clone, which is actually kind of cool. He had a tower defense game and a game about arms for Ludum Dare. But yeah, I was talking to a lot of different people and just kind of testing their games real quickly during the stream. Yeah, and just making friends that way, which was fun. I met a lot of cool people on Twitch. Here I am trying to finish the boss and making bullets for it. And you can see I used a technique there where I swapped out random colors for the colors I was actually going to use. That way I could keep track of the different frames. I think I'm finally getting the boss to work at that point, or close to. Looks like I'm going back over some of my other work, doing audio now. It looks like I'm trying to implement the mute button, as well as just get everything working. There, I made a block real quick, I made an enemy real quick, I made a switch real quick. Another block, I actually never put that one in the game, but I did put that into the game. It's like a portal thing. There I made a more optimized version of the block, which I actually just took out those blocks. And then we got the lasers. The lasers are actually pretty quick to make. And then we've got that tube from the tutorial level, which was kind of easy to just throw in there since I had already made the mechanics. The text is moving around here. testing and showing off. Okay, working on this enemy, which actually has like movement involved, but it's not very well optimized, so I don't actually use very many in the game. And they're just kind of a fun, easy enemy anyways. And here I'm working on this giant boss that took me like a whole year to actually put into the game, like start to finish, which was kind of interesting. But I was working very cyclical here, as you could probably tell, that I was jumping around from different things and not exactly finishing every little aspect that I was getting into, and then coming back around to it eventually, depending on what it was. Like that boss, I kind of sat there and did it. Oh, and this was Magical Miguel, I believe, or something. Magic Miguel. Yeah, someone else's game I was playing. And back to the boss here. I actually spent quite some time on it. And then this level, I had actually drawn up a sketch of. I put in a control menu for mobile there, so that way if you were playing the mobile build and you hit the controls button, it would show you how to play on mobile. I put the install disk on the WebGL. I'm playing Light Switch Crusader, one of my other games that was a team project. Let's see. Oh, and here, this is in the future. I jumped about a year where I wasn't streaming. And then, as you see, new apartment, working on pixel art and Aseprite. I guess I'm a little bit quicker, but not like a whole lot. I'm still doing a lot of guessing. And thanks for watching. It's about to end. I hope you enjoyed it and hope you check out Retro Spaceball. Thanks. Sorry, I didn't know I was still muted. I thought I hit the button. Alright, I'm back. Yep, just gonna go back to this guy here, and kind of made a decision on the stars. I think they look good blinking, especially in a looping animation, but in the game it's not gonna loop, so I think it's actually gonna look better. Excuse me, it's actually gonna look better without the blinking stars in the final animation. But the loop looks way cooler with the Twinkle Stars, so I might actually make a Twinkle Star version, I think is what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'm just going to see if I can, sorry, there's a flyer. See if I can, oh no, I'm going to. So I'm trying to see if I can get rid of the Twinkle Stars. I think I did. Make sure I didn't ruin the animation. I feel like I might have down there. No, I think that's okay. Yeah. Alright, so that's what I'm going to save it as. And then I'm gonna make a new one and call it Twinkle Stars. Yep, Twinkle Stars. Not denying what they are. Okay, so on this Twinkle Stars layer, I'm just going to get rid of the stars layer and make a new layer. And I'm just going to start with one star. I'm gonna make it all across the whole thing. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright, so I'm gonna draw the star first, so it's not confusing. What is this? What is this? Did I draw anything? Or was I erasing? Is it doing that thing? Is it not letting me draw? Why does it do that? I can't figure it out. Is it the alpha? It's the alpha. I wonder if that's what it was before. Okay. For some reason, the alpha disappeared. Alright, there's my star. Twinkle 1. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more than one twinkle, so linking it. Alright, and then I'm going to find a few frames in the middle. Actually, this one's going to be at the beginning. So I'm going to unlink, like, what, 3, and then 4, and then 3 again. So 10 frames. And I wish I had all of those colors still, but I can start over again, that's okay. Alright. Why is it red? A little bit weird, right? Alright, so something like that, I think. Oh, fuck that up. That maybe a little bit dark. That. Yes, and then this. And we can actually go a little bit more blue on the two. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, and then this one's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll come out with 3 frames. I'm gonna save those to my palette this time. Alright, so that's the one we want. What frame was it? Oh, I gotta stretch. I didn't have a chance to stretch and break. The mango took too long to eat. Yeah. Okay. This mouse setup's kind of weird. I should be like looking here, but I don't have the table being over here wouldn't be a great situation. I don't know. Maybe it would. Yeah, maybe it would. Just like move everything over there. It'd be really hard to work over there. I could just move the mouse, I guess. It actually sounds like a good idea. Wonder if I took a second to do that, if it'd be worth it. Probably something on, at the keyboard maybe. Oh, the keyboard's gonna stay. You know what? I'll just leave it like this for now. I'll deal with that later. But it's a good idea. I'll think about that. Where was I? There. So this was the first one. And this was the next one. Oh, I thought there was 1, 2. Oh, I must have missed one. This one. There we go. So now that star twinkles. But just once. Alright, so I've got Twinkle Star 1. So what I want to do now is I want to make Twinkle Star 2. So I'm actually going to just duplicate Twinkle 1. Rename it to Twinkle 2. Alright, so yeah. First thing I want to do is move it. So I'm going to take every frame. I think I gotta select it first. This is where things get a little bit confusing because it's got to be like Aseprite. So select all. Maybe I can't remember which way what's the thing. So I'm just gonna go select all, copy, and wait. What am I doing here? I want. If I zoom out, it'll be easier to see here. So it's selected. If I move it, oh, that's not the move tool. What is that? Alright, so if I select the whole layer, select all, and it disappears. Yeah. There's a way to do this. But that's not how, apparently. Did that work? It doesn't look like it. Alright, yeah. So it's the V. You gotta have the V tool. Okay. Alright, so the next step is to get those frames somewhere else here. So what I want to do is just move those frames. Alright, so to move them, you hover, or you select it, hover, and then slide. Right? I'm pretty sure that's gonna work. No, it didn't. Oh, yeah, it did. So you gotta get the edge, right? You select it, get the edge, and then drag. That's like a kind of halfway point, right? Maybe just a little. Oops. You miss, it does that. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so this should actually fix everything. No, it did both of them. Why the hell did it do both of them? Oh, because I'm moving the frames of everything. Hmm. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clear out some frames here. What, 10 frames? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. And unlink those. And then delete them also. Right? And then I will Control-Alt, Control-C, tap Control-V on each frame. Control-A, Control-C, Control-V. Oh, I'm holding down. so Control A. Whoa, that's S. Control A. Control C. Control V. Yeah. That's frame 3. Now we go to frame 4. Control A. Control C. Control V. 5. Control A. Control C. Control V. 6. Control A. Control C. Control V. 7. A, C, D, 8, A, C, D, 9, A, C, D, and now A, C, D. Okay, so let's see how this. Why is it doing the same thing? Oh, it's doing it twice now. Okay, so that's fine because I copied it instead of cutting it. So what I'm doing now, I'm just deleting all of those. Control A, Control C, Control V. So now I've taken that and brought it to the beginning, and now I'm linking those. That way it's going to be white. And this can be linked too. Oh, it's just breaking it anyways. Here we go. Yeah, party. Yeah, so we've got Twinkle 1, Twinkle 2. Does that look okay? Yep. Okay. So now, all I gotta do is use the V tool and have the whole thing selected, and I can move the whole animation. Just like that. Now I can make the whole scene have Twinkle Stars just by making new layers and duplicating, then moving. So duplicate, I've got Twinkle 2 copy. So half of the stars are going to twinkle at one point, and then the other half are going to twinkle at the other point. So the way I can discern them is Twinkle 2 and Twinkle 1. Twinkle 2 happens halfway, Twinkle 1 happens at the very beginning. Okay, so got the higher layer, all the cells selected. I've got the V tool selected, the move tool. Just gonna drag it off to there. Twinkle 1. How do you duplicate? Oh, there's no quick tool for that, unfortunately. And I'm pretty sure you guys select the whole thing. I'm not positive, but I am. Alright, so I've got that. Put him there. Make another one. Again, I'm going to select every frame to make sure that the entire animation goes with it. Otherwise, I'm worried that it won't. Also, I'm so worried that I'm going to go back and watch the animation and make sure, yeah, everything's animated. Alright, so it needs a Twinkle 2 down at the bottom. The whole thing. We'll do another Twinkle 2 since we're on a roll here. I guess it's important to note I'm doing all of this just for the Twitter animation at this point, so it looks better because I've kind of set a standard for myself with the Twinkle Stars. um, the game, like I said, the animation, I don't know. I'll check to see if the Twinkle Stars look better in the game, but I think that because it's just a one shot in the game, that the Twinkle Stars that you're going to take away from it. But as a looping animation, the Twinkle Stars make it work. So I say Twitter, but I'm sure I'll try to post it on Reddit or something too. I don't know. I haven't tried posting pixel art on Reddit, but now once I have some of these big cutscene animations, maybe I'll give it a shot. I don't know. Hopefully, having not done anything on there before will make it interesting for people. What am I doing here? So I'm still making stars. Like I've got the same number of both. So I'll go back to Twinkle 1. I'm on Twinkle 2 again. Duplicate. Select everything. E. One. Duplicate. Selecting everything. E. Two. Duplicate. Selecting everything. E. That may Twinkle 1. Everything. E. I'm gonna take a look and see how this looks. It seems really unnatural the way that it's twinkling. Maybe there should be a third twinkle star. Because they're not overlapped. But I'm not going to worry about it too much. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to turn on the original stars here. And I'm going to move them around because I don't like where they're placed. Whoa. I didn't want to do that. Huh. I don't think I can move them around as easily as I thought. Oh, you know what? I just gotta link them all. That's what I gotta do. I was kind of hitting the same positions as I had already hit with the stars as I was doing with the twinkle stars. Because I wasn't sure that I was going to take the non-twinkle stars in. But it was a thought that I had. Just fixing this stuff isn't too difficult. Alright, let's see how that looks. I don't like how this one's like right in the way. Yeah, I like that. Cool. So I got something. I'll probably, well, I've already got something to post for tomorrow, so I'll probably post this the day after. Um, what's Wednesday? I don't know. Maybe the Twinkle Stars will stay in. I don't know. I'll save this one, and it's saved as something else, so I'll be able to remember. Um, that's real cool. Glad I got this much done today. I knew I could get this done in one session, but yeah, I'm happy the way it turned out. Okay, so I'm just going to make an animation now. Exports, GIF, power transfer, Twinkle Stars. That works for me. Cutscene. I'll find that. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm deciding whether I should keep going or not. I think I'm gonna take a break. At nearly 3 hours. Um, could go back to that other animation. Um, I don't know. I think I should eat lunch and then go back. Hopefully I jump back on later tonight. I'm not sure that I will. Hopefully I do though. I could see myself doing that. If I do, it'll probably be later, like maybe 10 o'clock or something my time. Um, yeah. So, oh, that's only like 3 hours. Yeah, but maybe like three or 4 hours. Um, if that, I might end up doing it off stream again, or I might end up doing music, or I don't really know. I haven't really decided yet. I'm gonna eat lunch, take a break, just do something else for a bit, kind of stretch and relax, clear my brain a bit, and hopefully I'll know what I'm doing in a few hours. But thanks for lurking, Easy Perp. I really appreciate that. Anyone else who catches this on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm gonna end the stream here, and everyone have a great night.